38-year-old Mercedes Wells says she was having contractions 1 minute apart and knew the baby was coming, but a nurse sent her home.
I was in excruciating pain. She seen me in pain and agony, and I guess she still perceived me to not be in labor.
The family sharing this video of Wells being wheeled out of the hospital. She then gave birth 8 minutes later in her truck on the side of the highway, her husband delivering their baby himself.
I mean, what can you say but what the fuck at this point, right? Like, you spend years going through medical school. You spend years in residency. I expect you spend years in your profession learning how to tell if somebody needs your professional help or not, just to find that not only does your nurse, but the doctor himself tell a woman in labor, you're not far enough along, get the hell out of my hospital. But you're so wrong, you were so far off the mark that not only was she actually in labor, but 8 minutes later, 8 miles down the damn road, she ends up giving birth. Mercedes Wells posted on social media that she went to Franciscan Hospital in Crown Point, Indiana, just after midnight Sunday, believing she was in labor. Mercedes Wells posted on social media that she went to Franciscan Hospital in Crown Point, Indiana, just after midnight Sunday, believing she was in labor. She wrote in a Facebook post that while she never saw a doctor, she was sent home hours later after nurses told her she was not progressing and told to return if labor persists. I think this is crazy, right? A woman telling you to your damn face, hey, I am pregnant. I know I am pregnant. I can feel it. A woman who we find out later had already given birth to 3 children, I believe, at the same hospital, is sitting in a room telling you this baby is coming, and you tell her you're not far enough along. Those tears you are shedding are not real. The pain you are feeling will pass. Go home. That's what's on your mind. This is disgusting. Thankfully, the baby and the mother both seem to be doing well. But can you imagine having just been in a hospital for hours, I'm assuming, telling everybody around you that this baby is coming, then being told that you are lying, that you are making this up, or that you just simply have not progressed far enough for them to do anything, just to find yourself in a truck now giving birth without any kind of pain medication, without any kind of professional medical assistance, just you and your husband in the back seat pulling out a newborn child. In 2025, I cannot believe that this is still something that occurs. I cannot believe that there are still medical professionals, again, individuals who spend their whole life training to do this job, supposedly to want to help other individuals, having sent a woman home who was 8 minutes away from delivering a child. This is ridiculous. I cannot believe that this is still occurring, but I am happy that the hospital has responded, that the CEO has came out and released a statement. In fact, let's read the statement from Franciscan Health Crown Point President and CEO Raymond Grady, who said the following: "We failed to listen to Mrs. Wells' concerns. As an experienced mother who publicly acknowledged having previously given birth at our hospital with a positive experience, she knew something was not right. We must fix what failed in our hospital so that no one experiences what happened to Mercedes Wells." But there's another point that I want to get to, right? Because to some, in some communities, they recognize that this is not surprising, that for individuals of minority backgrounds, Black backgrounds, Hispanic backgrounds, this is not they probably have personal experiences of going into a professional medical field, of going into a professional medical setting, complaining of pain in whatever regards. It doesn't have to be something as severe as giving birth, but recognizing, hey, I got a headache that's persisting. Every day I wake up, I've got a pain in this joint that won't go away. And finding the response being, you're making this up. It's not as bad as it appears to be, and not being served. So Raymond goes on to say, secondly, I have mandated cultural competency training for all labor and delivery staff. Lastly, all pregnant patients leaving the labor and delivery unit will be examined by a physician before they leave the hospital. Now, I think it's great that the CEO is responding so immediately and seemingly making true effort in making changes in his hospital. But I also go, this speaks to one, why DEI needed to exist. We forgot the reason that we had programs in place. The reasons that there was extra attention given to underserved communities is that if you don't make an effort to educate people, they will revert to their default status, which is not to look at certain groups as the same as they view their own lives or family members. I think that this highlights why it was important to have programs that allowed people to step into shoes outside of their own, so we could understand cultures that were different than our own, so that when we look at a face that may be different in complexion, we don't immediately go, these people are known for X or behave in Y. And we forgot that because this administration came in and spouted a bunch of lies about the purpose of these programs, when right here, clear as day, we can see that the CEO recognized, hey, there is a cultural failing happening in our hospital. We're going to turn here to a publishing from the National Library of Medicine. It is titled Racial Bias in Pain Assessment and Treatment Recommendations and False Beliefs About Biological Differences Between Blacks and Whites. Now, of course, I'm not going to read this whole thing to you all. What we're going to do here is we're going to take a little bit from the abstract, and then we're going to go a little bit to the concluding to get an idea of what this is about and then what they found. Black Americans are systematically undertreated for pain relative to white Americans. We examine whether this racial bias is related to false beliefs about biological differences between blacks and whites. Study 1 documented these beliefs among white laypersons and revealed that participants who more strongly endorsed false beliefs about biological differences reported lower pain ratings for a black versus a white target. So what are we saying here? We're saying basically that individuals that had a belief that black people were different biologically from white people tended to not believe a black person was in as much pain as they claimed to be as their white counterpart. This last year marks the 30th anniversary of a landmark 1985 report of the Secretary's Task Force on Black and Minority Health, more commonly known as the Heckler Report, the first comprehensive documentation of racial disparities in health by medical experts. This report puts a national spotlight on the pervasive racial inequities in health and issued a resounding call to eliminate health disparities. Although this call was met with a surge in research efforts and substantial changes in medical programs, policy, and legislation, the ultimate goal of eliminating racial disparities remains elusive. Racial disparities in health and healthcare continue to be a problem in the United States, a point underscored by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services' clarion call to continue to take action toward ending health disparities. So I pray for all communities, but a particular attention to black communities in the fact that, yes, you are being targeted because there are still outdated beliefs that are pervasive in our country that lead to dangerous and scary moments, like a woman, I gotta say it again, giving birth to her child on the side of the damn road after 8 minutes prior being in a hospital complaining that she was about to give birth. That's it, y'all. Let me know your thoughts on this case. Let me know your thoughts if you've been in a similar situation. I was your host, JLW, and I will talk to you all later.